Hey guys, in this chapter we're going to build a photo gallery. Alright, so it's going to be really simple and it's going to use some of the widgets that are available with Bootstrap. Alright, so I just named it PhotoShack, and basically we're just going to have a navigation that has a 3-column and a 4-column layout. And you'll notice I have a slideshow here, and if we scroll down we have our gallery. Okay, so this is the 3-column. If we click on 4-column, alright, so basically the only difference is the classes for the grid. We're using 3-column divs here and 4 columns on the other one. I'm sorry, that's backwards. It's the other way around. 4 here and 3 here. Alright, and the slideshow is basically called a carousel with Bootstrap, and that's just one of the widgets that are offered. You can see if we go to JavaScript and go to carousel, it gives us an example, it gives us the code. Okay, so we'll be using that. And then we're also going to use the tab feature, or the tab widget, where we can separate these into categories. And you'll see we have all photos. We have category 1, which has 3 photos, category 2, which also has 3 photos. Alright, and that can be found here. It's actually called collapse. I think that's it. No, tab, sorry. Okay, so here's an example, gives us the code. And then the last feature that we're going to have is a light box. So if we click on an image, it's going to open in a nice light box with a title, and it's going to have these arrows, and we can scroll through the whole gallery using these arrows. Alright, and that's going to be a jQuery plugin called, I think it's called Lightbox 2. Alright, so we don't really have to write any JavaScript. It will just pop in the code and we should be alright. Alright, so that's what we'll be building. Let's go ahead and create the folder. And I'm going to call this PhotoShack with a K. And first thing I want to do is grab the images. So in your program files, you should have these images here, which are the sample images and also the icons for the lightbox. Alright, so I'm just going to grab these and bring them over. Actually, we need to put them in an IMG folder. And then I'm just going to get the standard starter template that we created and just copy all these. I don't need the IMG because I already have it. And we can go ahead and open that index file. Alright, and we want to open it with our text editor as well. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and change a couple things first. We want to change the title to PhotoShack, and let's see, Bootstrap CSS style navigation. Let's change this project name to PhotoShack. And then for the links, instead of home, we want it to say 3-column layout. And that will go to the index page, and the other link is going to have 4-column layout, and that's going to go to index2.html, and then we can get rid of this contact. Okay, so that's good for the menu. We're actually going to keep the black. We're going to keep the default menu for this project. I'm not going to do the carousel yet. We'll probably have a section dedicated to that. What I just want to do is get the grid. Okay, so I just want to get this grid here all set up. Alright, so in the index file, you want to go to this section, okay, and these section tags. And we're going to create a div, which will be the container. And then in there, we want our row. Okay, and in the row, we're going to want 3 divs. Okay, so it's going to be call MD4. And we want to put our image in there. So we need an image tag, and that's going to go to img/sample1 JPEG. And then under the image, actually we want to put a link around the image too, so let's do that. It's not going to go anywhere. And then underneath it, we want a div, and I'm going to give it a class of title. Okay, and I'll just give this a sample title. Okay, so what we want to do is copy this column. And just paste it in 2 more times. Now, right now, I'm not going to implement the tab either, this tab. I just want to get the grid down. Okay, so let's change this, and then we want to change the titles as well. Okay, so we'll save that and take a look. Okay, so you can see obviously the images are too big. All we have to do to fix that is give the images a class. We'll give them a class of img-thumbnail. And what that's going to do is it's going to, first of all, give us some padding and a border, and it's also going to fit it to its parent div. Okay, so to the columns. And there we go. Let's also put the next 3 images. So this is going to be a new row. So we want to copy this row div. And we're just going to change the image names and the titles. Okay, so that should now display all of our images. And we have a little bit of CSS that we need to do. So let's open up, let me close these out. Shouldn't even have those open. Yeah, so we want to open the style CSS folder, file. And we have our padding top of 50, that's fine, we're using the nav bar. For the sections, I want to put a margin, we'll do 20, 0, 20, 0, and then padding, we'll do 30, 0, and 30, 0. Okay, so that moved the whole section down. Now for this title here, I want to add some margin, and I also want to center it and make the text bigger. Okay, so we'll say title, and this is pretty much all the CSS that we'll be doing. Basically, Bootstrap will take care of the tabs and the slideshow, things like that. So the title is going to text align center, and I want to increase the font to 16 pixels, and we're going to have a margin top of 15 pixels, and then I'm going to just bold the font. Alright, let's add a little bit of margin to the bottom as well of the title. There we go. Okay, so that's our grid. What we'll do in the next video is implement the tabs so that we can basically have these images set up into categories. And it's all going to be static. We're not doing any server-side programming, so they're not actually going to be in a certain category like in a database or anything. We're just going to place them in the HTML. Okay, so we will do that next.